Hey everybody, so I know it's been a while since I've updated y'all on the SR20 Miata, and we've had so much fun in it. We've been going to some car meets and everything, but recently the oil pressure has been getting lower and lower, especially when you hit the brake. It would start to dive to 2 psi. So I brought it home as soon as I saw that, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get a new oil pump. I'm gonna do the timing chain and everything while I'm in there, and just do a whole refresh on the engine bay and everything too, because I have some stuff I need to cut out. So that's actually what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull the engine out and get a few things done while the engine is out as well. I don't know when the timing chain was last done, so that's why I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I already had to buy a new timing chain tensioner at one time because it was slapping, it was so loose. So I figured, since the oil pump seems to be going out, I'm just gonna do that while I'm in there, because it's a no-brainer since you have to take the oil pan off. So it obviously has to come out, because there's no way I could take that oil pan off in the Miata. Also, something I need to do is I'm actually going to be replacing my steering rack with a depowered one instead of a manual rack because of the steering ratio. The manual rack is a 3.3 turn lock to lock, and the depowered rack is a 2.8 lock to lock. So we'll see if I like that. If not, I can always throw the manual rack back in. A few other things we're going to do is button up some AN lines and just a bunch of little stuff. I've got a few things in line that I have in the house for part wise that need to go on here and mock up while the engine's out and everything. So we might be painting the engine bay again, with proper paint, and possibly the car. Stay tuned for that. Should be a lot more coming on the channel with this car since it's going to be ripped apart. The goal is to have it back on the road before Meows at the Gap, which is the first weekend of August. So we should be able to do that. I did sell my wheels, so look out for that video. It's going to be nice, although it's going to take forever to get them in. But there will be a reveal video.
I know I make dad jokes, but Jesus Christ, babe.
That's what we're going to do today. We're going to take the hood off, get the engine harness and everything out of the engine bay, ready to pull the engine. Everything disconnected, the transmission disconnected, all that good stuff. So let's do it. Before we do anything, I unplugged the cam angle sensor and the fuel injector fuse. That way we can turn the car over and get all the fuel out of the lines in the fuel pump. What was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It sounded like a cloud horn. Probably good. You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that way when we take the fuel lines out, there shouldn't be any excess fuel in there, even though they're still showing fuel pressure. Explain.
Did you pull out the fuel injector or the fuel pump?
The fuel injector. I don't have a fuel pump one. Fuel pump one's way down there.
That's the one that you need to do. Because the fuel pump is still running, but the injectors aren't sending anything in.
Oh shit. It's so far down there. I can get to it, I just have to take this out and that out.
You want 10 mil? Kind of like everything else in the car?
I'm trying to figure out, I can't remember which fuse it is. I can see the fuses. Anyway, so we're going to take the fuel pump one out because I'm not thinking, and it's not in here. It's down there. It's on the SR harness. I really want to retrofit the the late NA6 or NA8 wiper motor to go this way. I want to do that.
Yeah, no, it would make it look a lot cleaner as
I
well.
need to write that on my list of things to do, because I have 2 of those.
I know you do.
So I got my fuel pump relay out. So it shouldn't let the fuel pump run. So Tyler can start it over without any issues and get the fuel out of the lines. Right. I mean, you still have pressure in the regulator, but I think that's pretty normal. But it did go down.
Okay.
So. Alright. That I got to put back on there so don't forget. Next thing to do, since we're going to be unplugging everything, is we're going to disconnect my battery completely because obviously we're not going to need it because the engine's going to be out. I don't think there's anything else that I need to do while the battery's in. But I can always re-plug it in as long as I don't disconnect my main box up front there.
Not sure how well it's gonna show, but draining the radiator and everything is nice and clear.
How long ago did we change your radiator fluid? I don't think we ever did. From the swap, didn't we?
Yeah.
No, we ended up adding fluid after we connected
Yes.
up the heater pipe, but still, that was about 2,000-3,000 miles at least.
We had to add some. We didn't drain all of it though.
Yeah, but everything's looking nice and clear. There's no signs of oil or anything like that in it, so everything is good as far as we can tell. Chelsea's ripping off the... I can't think of the word of it, but we're going to end up trying to do a catch can off of that and just keep going. Okay, so time-lapse didn't work, so little fill-in. We took off some of the intercooler piping to help get it out of the way for when we do pull this. While Chelsea was doing that, I removed the down pipe and actually the entire exhaust. That's the catback, mid pipe, down pipe. I'm going to be trying to get the exhaust wastegate off as well because when we go to pull the engine, it actually won't clear here. Other than that, Chelsea's already got the throttle line off. We need to do the fuel lines. And
take the turbo off and all that.
yes, that.
And the rest of the wiring, etc.
Yeah, feed all that off.
Tyler's draining the oil now. We've got the turbo and everything off. Radiator's out. All the wiring except for the wire that goes to the oil pressure sender is not off because the relocation is hitting it, so I can't get the boot off to get the wire off, but we'll get that once we drain the oil. Other than that, I think I have all of the wires disconnected that go to the engine. Now I don't have the ones that go to the transmission disconnected yet, but we will do that. I don't think we're gonna have to take the alternator off to get the engine out. Tyler seems to think that we did before.
I think it was, we didn't even have it. I think we just put it on without it installed just to make sure that we had more room.
Yeah, not really, I don't really remember, but we're gonna try and get it out with everything intact. We just took the turbo off because it's easier to get to certain lines in the wastegate down here with it off. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had to take it off. Only thing is remove the throttle body cable to get out of the way and the heater core lines as well. I think it's pretty much the only, for the engine wise, that we have to disconnect, other than the things on the transmission. Tyler, what happened?
Well, I got under the car and I started draining the transmission. And, you know, got the drain plug. I was like, all right, well, it's covered in oil. I just got to clean it off. And in a sense, I go like that. And that's what came off. Just pure black. And then this is off of the dry shaft.
This is like what my transmission fluid looks like.
So you have clean normal fluid versus all the metal gunk that is in yours, which we've changed your transmission fluid 2 or 3 times.
2 times. 2 times prior, and it has never looked like that. Those little metal pieces.
Yeah, because they're all shimmery. And especially seeing all of it pull down.
Yeah.
Well, for your birthday, we're going to get you a new transmission, or a different transmission, I should say.
If you guys have any suggestions on what trans to run with an SR that doesn't push my shifter back, I mean, I know that's kind of going to be difficult. I know Taylor Ray runs a CD09 in his LS, but it pushes the shifter back like 1 to 2 inches, I think.
I thought it was 3. That and we're short.
It's pretty far, and I have my seat as much forward as possible because of my legs, and I just can make my clutch all the way down without my leg being fully extended. So I need a solution for a transmission. I don't know if maybe an SR20 is the way to go again, but I hear that they constantly break. Or if a KA would be better with an SR20 bell housing. I really don't know. So if you guys have any suggestions, please drop a comment down below and tell me what to do. Alright, so I got my oil relocation out. I had to take the alternator off to get the oil relocation out. Took the sway bar off so I could get the oil relocation out as well. A lot of stuff. I also found out that one of my bolts just decided to just fall off, that the alternator bracket is like barely hanging on. Like, let me see if I can get down here. Like, if you can see this, it's just like moving. Not sure how that happened. Tyler's still working on taking the middle of the butterfly brace off so he can get the PPF off.
To get the PPF brace off, to get the transmission out.
Pretty much. So he's getting the butterfly brace middle off so he can take the PPF brace off, so then he can take the PPF off of the transmission side and the diff side so it can actually just completely come out from underneath the car. And then we think we are ready to pull everything out.
No, you gotta take off your shifter.
Yes, I have to take the shifter off. Correct. He's already got the drive shaft out. So that's one less thing. I've still got to take the heater hoses off, but I think actually I've got everything else disconnected, including the starter. I think once he's done taking the butterfly brace off, we're gonna go get some food. I don't think we'll be back out here tonight, so this is probably going to be the end of the video. If it is, the next video will be us pulling out the engine and transmission. We actually picked up one of the engine levelers because we don't have one. So if you saw our original video with us putting the engine in with the transmission and me standing on the transmission to get it to level out,
that's the cheaper engine leveler.
It's pretty hilarious. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Later.